Misaki Ayuzawa holds the distinction of being the inaugural female student council president at Sika High School, which was previously an all-boys institution. Her leadership is greatly admired by the female student body, while she invokes fear and resentment among her male counterparts. To support her sister, Suzuna Ayuzawa, and her mother, Minako Ayuzawa, Misaki secretly takes on a part-time job at Maid, a quaint maid cafe. This decision stems from her father, Sakuya Ayuzawa, leaving them in substantial debt. In an unexpected turn of events, a charismatic male student named Takumi Usui stumbles upon Misaki while she's working at the cafe. She panics, fearing that her well-guarded secret will be exposed at school. Surprisingly, Usui not only keeps her secret, but also becomes a frequent patron, much to Misaki's chagrin. As Misaki's stress and fatigue begin to take a toll on her health, Usui offers her some candid advice, encouraging her to loosen up. Although she initially rejects his counsel, events take an unexpected turn. At her workplace, Misaki's covert occupation is discovered by three mischievous male students, humorously referred to as the Idiot Trio, Naoya Shirakawa, Ikuto Sarashina, and Ryunosuke Kurosaki. They commence a teasing campaign against her until Usui steps in to intervene. Deeply moved by his support, Misaki humbly apologizes to Usui before fainting from exhaustion. After her recovery, Usui reveals that he had discreetly asked the Idiot Trio to safeguard her secret. In his typical teasing fashion, he playfully suggests that Misaki should spend a day as his personal maid as a token of his appreciation. As the annual school festival approaches, Misaki sees it as an opportunity to bolster the school's reputation and encourage more female enrollment. However, a predicament unfolds in Class 2-2, where the boys' proposed activities take a rather exploitative turn, causing a rift. Misaki, ever the stalwart advocate for gender equality, decides to intervene. She opts to transform the class into a charming coffee shop, an idea suggested by three of her female classmates. During the preparations for the event, she exhibits an air of hostility directed solely at her male classmates. This does not go unnoticed by Takumi. After work, cautions Misaki about the potential consequences of her approach. He warns that her hostility might eventually lead to unfavorable outcomes. On the day of the school festival, a vast throng of female visitors swarms the premises. To Misaki's dismay, she discovers her male classmates donning various military-themed costumes, which only fuels her frustration. Misaki reprimands the boys for their thoughtlessness, but they, in a rather immature move, abandon their female classmates to run the coffee shop alone. Faced with the overwhelming task of serving numerous patrons simultaneously, Misaki slips up and accidentally addresses one of them as master. Quick on his feet, Usui steps in, adopting the role of a butler to cover for her. Witnessing this through the classroom door, the boys realize their mistake and return to assist the female classmates in serving the patrons appropriately. Later, during the school festival after-party, Usui finds Misaki resting beneath a tree. She expresses her gratitude for his invaluable assistance, but Usui, ever the playful tease, continues to banter with her about becoming his personal maid. Maid Latte has a special event on the horizon called the Little Sister Day, where the maids engage in playful little sister roleplay with their customers. Misaki, however, finds herself grappling with this task as she lacks any prior experience in this particular role. Her co-worker, Honoka, accuses her of not taking it seriously, prompting their manager, Satsuki Hyudu, to suggest that Misaki can skip the event and change her shift. Determined to rise to the occasion, Misaki resolves to master the character. She seeks guidance from her friends Sakura and Shizuko, and she even practices her little sister act on the mischievous Idiot Trio. Moving on, as the Little Sister Day dawns, Misaki surprises everyone by flawlessly embodying the little sister persona, delighting the customers with her endearing performance. However, when Takumi makes an appearance, he takes it upon himself to be a constant source of annoyance, bombarding Misaki with impossible requests and incessant nagging. This relentless barrage finally pushes Misaki past her breaking point, and she loses her temper. Just as Usui contemplates leaving, Misaki pleads with him to stay, inadvertently attracting a crowd of spectators who are captivated by her mo qualities. The next day at school, Usui surprisingly has the opportunity to witness another side of Misaki. She bravely rescues a male student from a falling ladder in the library, injuring her arm in the process. Concerned for her well-being, Usui convinces Misaki to let him help her bandage it up in the school infirmary. In the midst of these events, Maid Latte gears up for yet another themed day, Maid Power Rangers Day. Misaki, dressed in white attire, takes this particular suggestion from Usui, demonstrating her determination to remain true to herself despite the influences around her. Maid Latte receives a surprise visitor in the form of Aoi Hyudu, a renowned net idol who is introduced as Satsuki's niece. Filled with enthusiasm, Aoi eagerly dons a maid uniform, although Misaki attempts to explain that it's meant exclusively for employees. Aoi quickly becomes enamored with Usui's charisma, yet he consistently rebuffs her advances. The cafe faces a culinary crisis when the chef calls in sick, prompting Usui to step in and save the day. He wows everyone with his culinary prowess, presenting a modified version of omeris that leaves a lasting impression on the ladies. On the following day, Aoi confronts Misaki, expressing her disapproval of Misaki's choice of clothing. Matters escalate when Aoi's persistent advances drive Usui to push her onto the locker room floor. Misaki arrives just in time to intervene, pushing Usui away and delivering a resounding slap to Aoi. The shocking revelation follows. Aoi is, in fact, a cross-dressing boy who ran away from home due to ridicule from classmates for his love of girlish things. In the days that ensue, Misaki and Aoi spend time together, fostering an understanding between them. Aoi is privy to a jaw-dropping spectacle when he witnesses Misaki single-handedly subdue a burglar in the streets. They come to a mutual agreement that they should embrace their true selves. Several days later, Aoi surprises Misaki with a cute dress, much to her embarrassment. Misaki finds herself in a tense situation after scolding the student council vice president, Shoichiro Yukimura, for his lackadaisical approach to paperwork over the phone. Her focus quickly shifts when Satsuki issues a warning about stalkers targeting girls employed at cosplay cafes. Despite the looming threat, Misaki adamantly refuses any armed protection. In a rather unconventional move, Usui decides to take matters into his own hands. He pretends to stalk Misaki after school, shadowing her every move, from completing Yukimura's paperwork, seeing Sakura off to the subway station, to her night shift at Maid Latte. As the night progresses and her co-workers Erika and Subaru leave work early, Usui seizes the opportunity to give Misaki a genuine scare after she locks up the cafe. The following day, after school hours once again, Misaki finds herself closing up the cafe alone during the night shift due to Satsuki's early departure. It's during this unsettling time that Misaki falls prey to two stalkers who disguise themselves as customers. Just as the situation takes a dangerous turn, Usui, alerted by the commotion, prepares to intervene. However, Misaki summons her inner strength, breaking free from the handcuffs and duct tape that binds her. She proceeds to expertly subdue the stalkers using her Aikido skills, shattering their twisted fantasies of sadomasochism. In the aftermath of this harrowing experience, Aoi makes a return to Maid Latte, surprising Misaki, Honoka, Erika, Subaru, and even Usui, with a photo of Misaki wearing the cute dress. Aoi's intent is clear. He wants this image as their cell phone wallpapers. Much to Misaki's chagrin, her horrified reaction serves as an amusing reminder of the bonds and unique experiences shared among her co-workers. The Inuyama brothers, a group of quintuplets who hold Misaki in high regard at school, are relentlessly eager to uncover every facet of her life. However, their insatiable curiosity could potentially expose her secret part-time job. Misaki deftly avoids their probing questions at the subway station, thanks to Usui's timely intervention. Back at Maid Latte, Misaki and Usui share a light-hearted moment as they take a photo together, with Misaki sporting twin tails and her maid uniform. The incident triggers a realization within Misaki that she may need to confront the Inuyama brothers and reveal the truth about her part-time job. One day, on the school's rooftop, Misaki confides in Usui about her intention to be honest with the Inuyama brothers regarding her secret. In a surprising twist, Usui produces the photo as a reminder of their bond. However, Misaki's initial shock causes her to accidentally knock it from Usui's hand, sending it soaring toward the Inuyama brothers. A daring act follows as Usui steals Misaki's first kiss before leaping from the school roof, eventually landing in the school swimming pool to retrieve the precious photo. While Misaki's relief at Usui's safety is palpable, the Inuyama brothers are easily convinced that Misaki is, in fact, Usui's dedicated bodyguard, safeguarding her secret. Later, Misaki pays a visit to Usui at the hospital, but their encounter takes an unexpected turn when he playfully asks her to nurse him while wearing her maid uniform. Misaki, clearly flustered, leaves in a mixture of embarrassment and exasperation, leaving Usui to his mischievous antics. Misaki's thoughts about her first kiss linger on, even after Usui's patient discharge from the hospital. Her contemplation is interrupted by a call from Sakura and Shizuko, urgently requesting her assistance in quelling a brawl between two Seika High School students, Takamizawa and Ishida, and 3 students from the prestigious Miyabigaoka High School, led by Hirofumi Kogani. Misaki, somewhat disoriented, dismisses her feelings for Usui when she witnesses him sharing a kiss with Yukimura. With Usui joining her on the bus, Misaki learns from Takamizawa and Ishida that Kogane insulted them for their interest in chess, belittling them as mere insects. Upon arriving at Miyabigaoka High School, Misaki bravely confronts Kogane, proposing that her classmates will apologize if he's willing to apologize first. Kogane agrees to this condition, but adds a twist. He'll accept the apology only if he's defeated in a chess match. Usui takes up the challenge and emerges victorious, humiliating Kogane in the process. Subsequently, Tora Igarashi, the student council president of Miyabigaoka High School, arrives at Seika High School to formally apologize to Misaki for Kogane's unruly behavior. Displaying gentlemanly manners, Igarashi extends an unexpected offer of a scholarship to Miyabigaoka High School to Misaki. Back at Maid Latte, the cafe hosts a male dress-up day to impress the female clientele. Usui takes a moment to remind Misaki that, despite her role-playing, she's still unmistakably female. Meanwhile, Igarashi, who initially appeared polite and charming, begins to reveal a hidden lecherous side as he becomes aware of Misaki's part-time job, raising questions about his true intentions. Misaki is personally invited to switch schools by Kanade Maki, the student council vice president of Miyabigaoka High School. 3 days later, Misaki visits Miyabigaoka High School to inform Igarashi of her final decision, while Sakura and Shizuko are concerned that she would permanently quit Seika High School. Despite their desire for the best for Misaki, they mobilize the student council and her followers as they all head to Miyabigaoka High School to persuade her not to transfer. Meanwhile, just as Misaki is about to respond to Igarashi, Maki accidentally pours orange juice over her. Misaki is forced to wash off in the shower area, but she discovers that her school uniform has been sent to dry cleaning, leaving her in a tiny maid outfit. Igarashi quickly reveals his knowledge of Misaki's part-time employment, presuming she is looking for attention and money. Misaki, on the other hand, declines his offer and has no plans to leave Seika High School. Usui saves Misaki as Igarashi attempts to abuse her. Misaki then thanks Usui for picking up her school uniform from the dry cleaners. She later meets her classmates, who are waiting outside the school gate. The tale begins with Misaki taking on the role of Momotaro, miraculously emerging from a giant peach. Sakura and Yukimura, cast as the guardians, discover her by the riverbank. As the story unfolds, Misaki embarks on a noble quest to rescue women captured by a menacing demon. During her journey, she encounters the idiot trio, transformed into a dog, a monkey, and a pheasant, moments away from becoming dinner for Usui, who portrays the ringmaster. The idiot trio's mention of a recent demon sighting in a nearby village prompts Misaki to intervene and save them. This unlikely band of 5 decides to join forces as they head toward Seika village, which has been reduced to a desolate wasteland, overrun by crazed inhabitants and devoid of women to tend to the household chores. With guidance on how to reach Demon Island in hand, the group embarks on a treacherous ocean crossing, filled with encounters with quirky and distracting characters. Their journey culminates with their arrival at Demon Island, only to discover a startling revelation. The village women are living contentedly in a magnificent palace. Adding to the shock, Usui, previously cast as the demon, steps forward as their leader. However, it becomes clear that the women willingly followed Usui to escape the oppressive service to the selfish village men, ultimately seizing control of the palace. The story concludes with the assertion that Misaki and Usui have become a couple, despite Misaki's vehement protests and the unfortunate deaths of the idiot trio. In reality, this entire narrative was but a product of Misaki's vivid dream, induced during her nap in the student council room. The catalyst for this whimsical dream was Usui's clever manipulation, as he played subliminal messages through an audio recording of the fantastical tale. Sakura, an ardent fan of the indie rock band Uxmishi and deeply smitten with the band's vocalist, Kuga Sakurai, extends a special invitation to Misaki and Shizuko after school. She eagerly invites them to an upcoming tea party hosted by Uxmishi at the Sunvaka Cafe, a rather unexpected location where the idiot trio surprisingly work part-time as waiters. On the day of the eagerly anticipated tea party, Kuga unexpectedly singles out Misaki, diverting his attention from Sakura. A discreet conversation between Kuga and the band's bassist, Kuma Yafu, in the restroom raises suspicions. Kuga attempts to entice Misaki with a free concert ticket, setting the stage for a complex web of emotions. After a brief visit to the restroom, Misaki finds herself in a delicate predicament as Kuga and Kuma wait outside, with Kuga revealing that his interest in Sakura is non-existent. He admits that the tea party was merely an event for the fans. Usui, always one to intervene at the right moment, cleverly disguises himself as a waiter to offer Misaki some much-needed advice on how to navigate the challenging situation. As the tea party progresses, Kuga unwittingly hurts Sakura's feelings with his actions at the table. Misaki, her patience exhausted, takes matters into her own hands. She grabs Kuga by the necktie, asserting that someone like him is not fit to have Sakura handed over to them. Outside the Sunvaka Cafe, emotions run high. Shizuko doesn't mince words as she admonishes Misaki for her short temper and Sakura for her poor choice in boys. In a touching moment, Misaki extends a comforting hand, patting Sakura's head, expressing her hope that Sakura will someday find true love. In an unexpected encounter, Usui crosses paths with Minako in the bustling streets. Ever the gentleman, he lends a hand to help her pick up some apples that she's dropped. Touched by his kindness, Minako extends an invitation for tea at her home, along with her daughter Suzuna, as a gesture of gratitude. However, as fate would have it, Misaki arrives on the scene and shock washes over her as she discovers Usui in Minako's company. She promptly whisks him away to a nearby park, issuing a stern warning for him to stay away from her house. The following day, Misaki, joined by Sakura and Shizuko, concocts a plan to follow Usui after school. Their aim is to catch a glimpse into his private life and confirm the persistent rumors that he's from a wealthy background. Usui, ever astute, senses their pursuit and masterminds a series of twists and turns around town, leading the girls on a wild chase. Their adventure takes them to various locations, including a health club, a suit store, and a restaurant, among others. When the trio eventually gives up their pursuit, Misaki stumbles upon Usui at a pedestrian overpass, where he exhibits his caring side by tending to a stray cat. Misaki, true to her nature, denies any interest in his personal life, but Usui astutely observes that it's the first time she's shown any curiosity at all. With a touch of enigmatic charm, he provides her with his home address, should she ever change her mind. Later, in the confines of her bedroom, Misaki reflects on the directions Usui provided, while a glimpse into Usui's own world reveals him living alone in a towering apartment building, accompanied by the stray cat, creating an air of mystery around his life outside of school. Following the Kimono Day extravaganza at Maid, Misaki enthusiastically takes part in the highly anticipated sports festival hosted by Seika High School. With unwavering determination, she races to victory in the first 8 events, securing a slew of prizes for the female team. However, the 9th event, an obstacle race, adds an unexpected twist to the competition. The first prize is a kiss from an unwilling Sakura, and Misaki takes an early lead. Yet, her path to victory is jeopardized when Masaru Guda attempts to push her into the school swimming pool to secure her disqualification. In a dramatic turn of events, Usui springs into action, saving Misaki from an impending plunge and ultimately winning the race. However, he rejected the coveted prize, graciously bestowing it upon Misaki, who came in second. Later in the day, Misaki finds herself entering the 12th event, a costume race, on behalf of Shizuko. Inside the changing tent, an intriguing surprise awaits her. Unbeknownst to her, the idiot trio has handcrafted a unique costume concealed within her mystery bag, which she accidentally swaps with Yukimura's outfit. Upon seeing Yukimura ridiculed by his fellow male students, Misaki's compassionate nature compels her to step in. Despite Usui's explanation that Yukimura's efforts may be in vain, Misaki and Usui sport cool samurai attire, standing in solidarity with Yukimura as they finish the race together. Yukimura finds genuine enjoyment in the experience, and Misaki is inspired to make the costume race even more remarkable in the years to come. Guki Aratake, renowned as the most formidable delinquent at Seizen Middle School, harbors a deep desire to emulate his reformed upperclassman, the former gang leader Shiroyan. Unknown to many, Shiroyan is actually Naoya, a member of the idiot trio. When the Arataki gang traces the idiot trio to Maid, they mistakenly conclude that Naoya has grown soft in his ways. In a dramatic turn of events, Aratake makes a daring appearance at Seika High School. He kidnaps Yukimura, who had been dressed as a schoolgirl and was mistaken for Naoya's girlfriend. Witnessing this abduction, Misaki, Usui, the idiot trio, and Aoi are left with no choice but to prepare for a daring rescue mission. They quickly don delinquent disguises, although their plans are momentarily derailed by the unexpected appearances of Suzuna, Satsuki, Sakura, Shizuko, and even the Inuyama brothers. Meanwhile, at the Arataki gang's secret base, Arataki reflects on the transformative influence that Naoya had on his life. Filled with admiration and aspiration, Aratake's motivations become clearer. The stage is set as Misaki, Usui, the idiot trio, and Aoi arrive at the secret base, where tensions escalate into a heated fistfight between Naoya and Aratake. In the end, Naoya emerges victorious, and Aratake reveals that his true longing was to become a hero like Naoya. With the confrontation resolved, the idiot trio introduces Misaki to the Arataki gang as their formidable maid and president, much to her chagrin. However, amidst the ensuing chaos, one critical detail is overlooked: the whereabouts of Yukimura, who remains in the hands of the Arataki gang, setting the stage for further adventures and misadventures. When the student council at Seika High School devises a plan to host an open house to attract more female students, they encounter opposition from an unusual source. Sutaru Kano, a male freshman with an intense fear of women. Determined to thwart their efforts, Kano resorts to hypnotizing the student council members. During their investigation, Misaki stumbles upon Kano in the broadcasting room and unwittingly falls victim to his hypnotic powers. She regains consciousness in the school infirmary, disoriented and confused. Usui, witnessing her bewildered state, is taken aback by the unusual turn of events. As the confrontation with Kano unfolds, it becomes evident that Usui possesses a unique immunity to the freshman's hypnotic abilities. Misaki later crosses paths with Kano in the chemistry preparation room, where he seeks vengeance. Kano employs a hypnotic suggestion, compelling Misaki to harbor eternal animosity toward Usui if she succumbs to sleep within the next 24 hours. Determined to resist the hypnotic command, Misaki valiantly fights off sleep throughout the night, with Usui's unwavering support. However, Kano takes a devious turn by hypnotizing Yukimura into administering a sleep-inducing painkiller to Misaki. Overwhelmed by drowsiness, she succumbs within a mere 5 minutes, falling asleep just moments before the time limit expires. In her sleep-induced haze, Misaki reflects on her feelings of gratitude toward Usui and expresses a hope to repay him properly. In a tender moment, Usui embraces her, vowing to be there for her whenever she needs assistance and declaring his intent to make her fall in love with him all over again. Misaki manages to muster her strength and resist Kano's hypnotic influence, successfully overcoming her drowsiness before the imposed time limit. In light of his failure, Kano faces a fitting consequence. He is compelled to lend a hand to the female students who have been assigned as cafeteria staff for the upcoming open house. Under the leadership of Yukimura, Kano reluctantly joins in the preparations, albeit initially attempting to evade Misaki's watchful gaze. As the open house draws nearer, a surprising discovery by Sakura and Shizuko uncovers a box of Maid uniforms. Though initially hesitant, Misaki ultimately concedes that the cafeteria staff should don these uniforms during the event. On the day of the open house, Misaki takes on the role of a guide for the middle school visitors, offering them an insightful tour of the school. Meanwhile, the idiot trio grows concerned when Misaki fails to appear at Maid Latte. However, their worries are quickly dispelled as the other employees, including kitchen staff members Sen and Mochi, warmly welcome them. Misaki assigns Usui the task of promoting the sports clubs, while Kano finds himself transformed into a bunny butler by the cafeteria staff's creative efforts. During their interactions, Kano shares his belief that all women are inherently fragile. However, a revelation about his own past challenges this perception. He recalls that his mother, far from being fragile, had the strength to leave his abusive professional wrestling father during his childhood. Inspired by his mother's resilience, Kano steps up to assist a female middle school visitor who grapples with androphobia, the fear of men. In a heartwarming turn of events, he helps her conquer her fears, leaving a lasting impact. In a quieter moment, Misaki finds a way to repay Usui for his support in promoting the sports clubs, offering a simple yet meaningful gesture, a gentle pat on the head. On the inaugural day of summer vacation, Nagisa Hyudu, Satsuki's younger sister, extends a warm invitation to the employees of Maid Latte for a delightful sojourn at her beach house. Accompanied by Aoi and Usui, the group eagerly sets out for this beachside adventure. Back at Maid Latte, the team hatches a plan to host a guerrilla event at the beach house, aiming to attract beachgoers and customers alike. However, Misaki finds herself grappling with reservations about donning a swimsuit as part of the maid uniform. Her hesitations momentarily waver when she witnesses her fellow employees gracefully serving the incoming customers. Yet, a mischievous move by Usui leaves her with a hickey on her back, compelling her to opt for a t-shirt as a cover-up. As night descends upon them, the employees prepare for a trip to the local hot springs to celebrate. However, Misaki is plagued by a combination of fear stemming from Honoka's spooky ghost story and self-consciousness about the hickey. Initially, she decides to stay behind, but soon changes her mind, believing that her colleagues might have forgotten their free tickets. Lost and disoriented along the way, Misaki becomes increasingly frightened until Usui appears and takes her by the hand. Realizing his previous actions, Usui apologizes and offers a comforting embrace to soothe Misaki's anxieties. Their journey continues, and Aoi unexpectedly joins them. He encourages Misaki to confront her feelings, urging her to admit her affection for Usui. Upon finally reaching the hot springs, Misaki realizes her efforts were in vain since she had diligently carried the extra tickets along with her all along. As summer vacation continues into its second day, Nagisa grants her nephew Aoi a unique condition to continue cross-dressing, winning the local mixed doubles beach volleyball tournament. Aoi's unwavering determination prompts Misaki to agree to be his teammate. She discovers from Satsuki that the victorious pair will be crowned the Beach Prince and Princess. However, surprises are in store as Usui and Erika unexpectedly enter the tournament as well. The two teams display exceptional skill, breezing through their competition and earning a place in the final round, setting the stage for a thrilling showdown. Misaki becomes increasingly frustrated by Usui's intense competitiveness and, in a moment of emotional outburst, publicly airs her grievances, much to the astonishment of the onlookers. However, their clash ultimately propels them to work in unison. Aoi's remarkable dive and dig maneuver allows Misaki to deliver a powerful spike, securing victory for their team. Despite emerging as champions, Misaki decides to forego the festival in order to mend her relationship with Usui. As they reconcile, Usui candidly admits that his primary motivation for entering the tournament was to protect Misaki from being exploited as the beach princess. Their tender moment is interrupted by a distant display of fireworks, symbolizing the conclusion of their summer vacation. The season concludes with a commemorative group photo featuring everyone, including employees Sayu and Gon, serving as a lasting memento of their memorable summer adventures. Kano helps Yukimura with paperwork to overcome his gynophobia. Usui playfully reminds Misaki about her owing him a day as his personal maid. After a shrine maiden day at Maid Latte, Maki offers to buy the cafe for a butler-themed restaurant. Igarashi supports this and invites the employees to watch Footman auditions. In the following week, Misaki and Subaru prepare for male-only Footman auditions at Miyabigaoka High. The first round, with tough challenges, surprises Misaki as Naoya, Ryunosuke, Yukimura, Kano, Usui, and Aoi also participate. Subaru gets disqualified when her gender is revealed, and Aoi for being underage. Igarashi suggests Misaki and Usui compete as a pair if they can prove they're eligible. Misaki passes the gender test by having Usui touch her flat chest, and they advance to the second round as a team. In the Footman audition's second round, Usui and Misaki excel at setting up an elegant tea table, with Usui pretending Misaki is a boy to deflect Yukimura's questions. In the final round, Misaki falls from a stage, but Usui saves her. Despite knowing Usui's injured arms, Misaki hides it in the third round. They must simulate customer interactions, but Maki grows suspicious as Misaki does all the work, while Usui plays the violin. Misaki stops Usui and teaches Maki the importance of teamwork and support. Maki is moved by her speech and decides not to buy Maid Latte, preserving its future. Afterward, Misaki cares for Usui at his home, where she discovers he lives alone in a luxurious apartment. She apologizes for relying on him, and Usui admits he relies on her too. Ruri wants a prince like Usui, but won't admit it. So Yukimura arranges a playdate. Misaki, Yukimura, Kano, and Aoi see Usui as an amazing big brother and step in. When Ruri causes trouble, Usui saves her, and she accepts Yukimura as her brother. Meanwhile, Aoi dresses up and films a video with help from Yukimura, Kano, and the idiot trio. A thief runs into Aoi, dropping the camera card. Misaki and Aoi despite his complaints. The memory card lands near Usui, adding a surprising twist. Misaki takes charge, prompting the sports club to clean their messy room, enticed by onigiri from the student council. When they criticize her onigiri, she gets upset and kicks them out. Usui praises Misaki's efforts, sparking Kano's curiosity about their relationship. A new transfer student, Hinata, arrives, annoying Misaki but impressing male students. Hinata reveals he's searching for his first love, Misaki, who realizes he's her childhood friend. They reunite with a warm hug, surprising onlookers. Seika High's sophomores embark on a 5-day field trip to a Buddhist temple. Misaki faces attention from girls regarding her relationship with Hinata, while Usui and Hinata compete for her affections. Misaki and Hinata get locked in a storehouse, where he expresses his feelings. Usui overhears and challenges Hinata, interrupting the moment. On the 4th day, the boys act strangely, prompting Misaki, Usui, and Hinata to intervene. After Hinata praises Usui, Usui teases him. Later, Usui asks Misaki about her feelings for Hinata, and she clarifies their childhood friendship. Usui then faints from hunger while leaning on Misaki. Erika asks Misaki for help after mistakenly agreeing to date a customer if he wins a dessert eating contest, against the rules of Maid Latte employees. Misaki enters the contest in disguise to ensure the customer loses, but Hinata also joins and wins. He chooses Misaki as his maid for a commemorative photo, but doesn't recognize her. Misaki leaves in disguise, and Usui comforts her on a park bench. The next day, Satsuki and Erika help Misaki hide her secret from Hinata. Misaki tries to deceive Hinata by being a customer at Maid Latte, but she can't handle the pressure and steps out. Hinata tells Usui that Misaki helped him cope with his parents' death in childhood. Misaki returns and plans to reveal the truth to Hinata. Usui dresses as a butler to defuse the situation. Outside, Usui warns Hinata to stay away from Misaki, leaving her confused by their jealousy. The rivalry between Usui and Hinata gets them kicked out of the student council room by Misaki. Later, she learns that Maid Latte is hosting Magical Maids Day, where employees dress as anime witches. Hinata meets Minako and explains he's looking for a childhood cherry tree. On Magical Maids Day, tension between Usui and Hinata leads Usui to leave. Hinata asks Misaki to cast a spell to find the tree. After work, Aoi asks about Misaki and Usui's relationship. Misaki finds Usui waiting for an answer. He blocks her punch, embraces her, and talks about a no-lying spell, which softens her resistance. Meanwhile, Hinata finds the cherry tree and feels its fate. Hinata, despite being popular in middle school, can't stop thinking about Misaki. Sakura invites Misaki and Shizuko to Yumisaki High's cultural festival, where Uksmishi is performing, claiming that Kuga has changed. Usui persuades Misaki to let him come along. At Maid Latte, they host Fortune-Telling Day. Erika tells Hinata his relationship with Misaki is like a sinking paper boat, and Usui's is incompatible, like fire and water. Depressed, Usui challenges Misaki to see if he'll give up based on his fortune. The next day, Hinata and Misaki mop the school entrance, getting soaked. Usui and Misaki his shirt to cover her revealing camisole and accompanies her to change. Hinata sadly realizes Misaki has fallen for someone else, as his middle school friends warned him. A few days later, Misaki and Usui get separated from Sakura and Shizuko in the crowd at the Yumisaki High Cultural Festival. Misaki and Usui flee the crowd and enter a couples contest, where they playfully tease each other. They win special tickets to the after-party fireworks. After the Uksmishi concert, Misaki seeks Sakura and Shizuko, but meets Kuga instead, who reassures her about his intentions with Sakura. Kuga questions why Misaki isn't dating Usui and accuses her of being cruel to him. At the after-party, Misaki and Usui dress as Romeo and Juliet and watch the fireworks from an empty classroom. With Kuga's words in mind, Misaki confesses her desire to be with Usui, even though she's unsure of her feelings. They kiss during the fireworks and declare their love for each other, leaving the room hand in hand. The next day, Suzuna reveals she knows about her sister's feelings for a boy, Aoi returns to live with Satsuki, and Hinata remains determined to win Misaki's heart as life goes on for everyone. With all these complications, who do you think Misaki would end up with? Find out in the next season, and if you enjoyed this video, then do give us a like, and please subscribe to our YouTube channel.